Hey everyone, welcome to the Captain Drone YouTube channel. My name is Steve and this is the FH09 naval helicopter and I'm going to power it on. Get some power happening here. There we go, blinky lights come on. Place it down. Now we're going to take this for its maiden flight, but first before we do that, how about we go to Indoor Steve so he can tell you all about this. Check it out. Alright, welcome indoors. I'm Indoor Steve and I'm going to tell you all about this baby really quick so we can get out and fly. The first thing you need to know is there are models that came before this. So if you're looking for models online, you might find ones at a lower price, but they are older models, such as this model up here is the BLACKHAWK, which I reviewed a very long time ago. Link to that review is below this video. Then came the Coast Guard model, which I reviewed a long time ago, and the link to that is below this video as well. And now we come to the SH60 Seahawk. Each of the models gets better as they progress through time, and I will tell you right now that the SH60 is probably the most beginner-friendly model of all of them. So if you have zero skills flying a drone, flying a plane, flying a helicopter, you can fly this. Your grandma could fly this because it has so many cool GPS functions and safety features built in. Now, normally when something is beginner friendly, it's pretty cheap, but this is pretty good. You know, you have a direct drive brushless motor up front and you have a brushless tail rotor motor. The 4 rotor blades are carbon fiber composites, so don't get your fingers in there, it's going to hurt. As well, you get a 4-bladed tail rotor. Everything inside the main rotor motor is metal, except I do see what appear to be plastic linkages, so maybe not everything's metal. But the servos inside are Metal Gear digital servos. If you're somebody that likes detail and plenty of blinky lights, this has plenty of blinky lights and, well, LED lights all over it. And something they took from the previous models is you still get the suspension landing gear, so it goes up and down. As well, the cargo doors on either side open a little bit. Now, to supply this helicopter with power, it uses a 3S LiPo battery. It's a 1350 milliamp hour LiPo battery. Each battery should give you about 10 minutes of flight time on average, or 12 minutes at the max. Now let me jump back really quick to the beginner functions. So for beginners, it does have optical flow. There's a camera on the bottom and it does have built-in GPS. Optical flow, that means you can fly this indoors as well as outdoors low to the ground, and GPS means you can fly it outdoors and you have return to home. And the return to home means that if the helicopter is flying and the battery gets low, it will return to home and come and land where it took off. Or if it loses transmission, you know, the linkage between the included transmitter and the helicopter, it comes back to home and lands. Or there's a switch up here, you can go click and it comes back to home and lands. Obviously, you can't fly this farther than you can see it. They say the range is about 1,000 feet, 350 meters. I don't know if it really goes that far because I wouldn't see it at that range. Since it has a GPS in it, it does have some autonomous flight modes you'll see in this review as well. There's a big display screen down here, and on that display screen, when you're flying with the GPS, you can see your height, you can see your distance, and you can see your speed. Last thing to tell you before I show you my review is that it does weigh more than 250 grams, obviously. All right, let's get into my review video. All right, we're out here to do the maiden flight on the FH09 naval helicopter. It's pretty noisy. I don't know if you can hear it, but there's some guys cleaning the parking lot over there. I was over with my drone filming one of the guys. So that's right beside me. It's pretty noisy, but I've got the DJI Mini 4 Pro circling me here. Got our little helicopter over here. While the Mini's up there, I've got this set to auto and I have it set to locked, and I'm gonna set it to optical flow to start with. All right, to go up for our first flight, I just press this to unlock up here. There we go, we get a beep. Now there's a button on here that you can take off and also use it for land, or you can pull the joysticks down and out to cause the motors to spin up. I'm gonna pull the joysticks down and out. I'm taking the joysticks down and out. Spins up, and it's up to me to move the left joystick up high enough so it takes off up in the air. It's on optical flow mode right now, so let's go up in the air. So with optical flow, it's going to look at the ground. There's a little camera on the bottom that looks at the ground to keep it in position. So it's looking at the gravel on the ground right now. You can fly it around now. There's no GPS happening. I don't have it in GPS mode. So I'll bring it over where the Mini is and other things so you can see it flying. It looks pretty cool with the light up in the front. Oh my God, this thing looks cool. Holy cow. This is the first time I floated, so this is a maiden for me. But I don't know if the Mini, well, the Mini won't pick it up, but there's a beautiful light up front. It just looks so cool, like an attack helicopter when it's coming at you. It looks really cool. All right, so let me bring it back and let me show you what you can do in optical flow mode. You can't go too high because the camera has to see the ground. You can fly it at a fairly decent speed. So I'm going forward at a decent speed. This is mostly what beginners would do. This is a good speed for beginners. Come right at me here. I'll just get out of the way. There we go. Now, can I go faster? The question is, can I go faster? Yes, I can. I could just gun it. That's full speed. I can't go any faster than that. That's optical flow, full speed. Now, you can go higher. I can take this way up in the air and go higher. But the problem is, if you go higher in optical flow, it's no longer going to see the ground and it's going to lose its stability. So let me go over here and I'll put it in GPS mode. Another thing with GPS mode is that it says on the box, depending on the country you live in, you should do a GPS compass calibration. I didn't do one. This is right out of the box. So it should automatically get the satellites. So if I put it in GPS mode, we'll see if it actually flies at GPS. I'll just get out of the way just in case the GPS goes wonky, but here we go, GPS mode. There we go, that's GPS now. You see a little green light on top saying it's got a solid signal, so that's good. So now let's fly it in GPS mode. So what the GPS mode does is when the helicopter's low to the ground, it uses GPS as well as optical flow. So you've got the benefits of both working together. And when it's high up in the air, which I'm gonna do in a second, I'm just gonna find my Mini wherever I put it. I'll get back here, I'm gonna go way up. There we go. So now you can fly high because you have GPS and optical flow happening. So when the optical flow no longer works because you're too high, well, the GPS takes over and you can just fly it high in the sky. And let's see, for speed, I'll bring it down so the cameras can catch it. Coming down, coming down. I will say it's a sexy looking helicopter. With those missiles on the side and that Gatling gun, whatever the heck that thing is, that looks pretty awesome. And full speed now. There we go. So that's GPS full speed. The only way you can go faster is to go into manual mode, but manual mode might be a little scary for beginners. Okay, I've got it in GPS mode. It does have a cool little switch on it here that says it can do circles right here. Circles and figure eights. So let's try circle, which is pull it down. So here we go. Circle mode. It should automatically do a circle. So it climbs. I'm just letting it do its thing. If it wants to crash in the ground, I guess I have to let it. It's flying by itself. I'm doing nothing. I have no idea what it's going to do. Oh, I see. You're supposed to put it over the point of interest and then hit the circle mode and it will circle around it as if it had a camera on it. Ah, I see. So that's pretty cool. I didn't realize it would go that fast though. That's pretty fast. So to get out of that, you pull this little switch down again, I believe. There we go. That stops it. So it has the same thing for figure eight. So let me get a point of interest here. Point of interest is going to be right about here. And I got to go higher than the Mini because I don't want to crash in the Mini. And figure eight is push it upwards. So figure eight. There we go. So it should have registered that spot and it should do a figure eight around that spot. So it's going out the first loop, coming back, and then it's going to turn to do the second loop. There we go. Beautiful. There we are. And of course I better stop it because the Mini's right there. Next thing I want to do is I'm going to put a little camera on the bottom of this so that when I do these maneuvers, there's a camera actually on the helicopter filming. So let's try that. So for landing, you either pull down the left joystick and hold it down, or you press a button to land it. I'm going to do the left joystick just like on a drone. So I'll just go down, left joystick, hold the left joystick down, kill the little lock switch here to lock so the motors don't spin anymore, and you have landed your heli. All right, to change the battery here, it's pretty simple. First you power it off. Oh, I have lots of battery power left. I've got 3 bars out of 4. That's really good, but I'm gonna switch the batteries anyways. So there we go, powered off. Press the 2 little buttons here and it just falls out. Now to put a camera on the bottom, I have an Insta360 Go 2 and double-sided tape. So as you can see here, the Insta360 Go is on the bottom. I have it facing out forward. The problem is I could not leave the light on because if I leave the light in position, then the camera can't look forward. It will just look at the light. Okay, I've got the Mini really high up so that this doesn't crash into it. I'm going to unlock the motors, pull these joysticks down and out. Everything spins up. I'm in optical flow mode, so I'm going to take it up in optical flow mode. It's got the weight of the camera up front. See if it can balance for it. It may or may not. We'll see. So with the camera up front, it does throw it off a bit with that weight, but it's fixing itself. So the camera's recording up front, and just to show you, I'm just going to back it up here, and you should see me. That's from the little Insta360 I stuck on the front of this thing. All right. So I guess the point of interest will be me. So let me put in GPS. There we are. So it's GPS now and circle mode. Going up. Don't hit my Mini. Should come around to look at me. Do a circle around me. There we go. Oh, Canada geese up there. There we are. So if you get this heli and you put a little camera on it, well, you've got a little filming heli. There we go, it's going around me, so it should be filming me. I'll just stand still. Going around, I see my Mini up there capturing all this. That's cool. All right, let's stop that and let's do figure eights now. Come on over, point of interest over me. Let's go right over here. Put it as close as I can, right about there. And figure eight. There we go. Whips around. It should go over my head and turn the opposite direction. Coming at me and then turning, and there we go. So that is the figure eight. It's pretty sweet. Whoa, it just looks like it's coming at me. It's still doing the figure eight, but I was the point of interest, so it had to come over me. All right, so let's stop that here. There we go. I go forward. I can whip it away out over there. I'll take it up. Of course, you can only fly it as far as you can see it. It's going over to the park. There's a return to home here, which has pulled this switch all the way down, so pull it all the way down. Return to home mode, it's going up by itself, and it should come back to where it took off from. Let's see where it goes. Coming over. There we are. Come on down. It's checking itself out. It's going into landing mode, and it will land as close as possible to where it took off. It's off to the right, at least for my eyes. So there we go. So that's where she landed. It should shut itself down. You can hear it powering down. So landed there, and that's where it took off from. And it's got a camera on the nose, which makes it very unbalanced, but it does well. Okay, let's take it up again. We got a little bit of battery power left. There's no camera on it now. Going up. And I just want to fly it around here, and I want to check something out. So it's got modes on here. It's got auto and manual, but I don't know what the manual means. It might mean no optical flow, no GPS, anything. So I'll try it. I'll just take it up a bit. Okay, I'm going to switch it to manual. So it's in manual now, and I think that's what it is. There's no GPS and there's no optical flow. So this is manual mode, and yeah, so that means I should be able to fly it quite fast. Let me go this way. There's no assistance other than a gyro to balance it. So there we go. I don't know what my Mini is. Okay, you can go really fast in manual. Watch this. I'm gonna bring it around. Okay, let me just get back here to the cameras. It's gonna be fast, guys. Okay, here's manual. This is a dangerous mode. Don't fly this if you don't know what you're doing. There we go. Got a lot of speed. This is manual. It just has no positioning, no optical flow, no GPS, nothing. Except it does have a 6-axis gyro enabled. So in other words, it's pretty stable. I can't tip it over, I can't crash it. If I try to do circles, let me see if I can bank it. Try to bank it around this way. This is manual mode. I'm trying to go really fast. I'm doing circles. So it does bank. You can bank it, but I can't flip it. No, I can't flip it upside down. All right, let's put it back in auto mode. Boink. There we go. GPS and optical flow have taken over, and let's land this baby. You could probably land it in your hand. You could probably catch it out of the air. It's not intimidating at all. Let's go down, going down, going down, going down, 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 down. There we go, right on the landing pad. And hit the kill switch here. Motor's off. We're done. All right, you're back to me. This case is what you get. It's a beautiful case, and this is what everything comes in, and you use it to store your helicopter for years to come, as well as take it to the field. So let me show you everything you get in this case. This is the case your heli comes in, and I must admit it's a pretty nice case. Opening the case, you'll find your heli, your transmitter, your battery charger, and accessories. Oh, and let's not forget the user manual. Out of the case, your heli is pretty much fully assembled. One thing to note is that although you do receive a battery charger, if you already own an RC hobby charger, you can use that instead because you do get an XT30 plug plus a balance cable. Out of the box, the transmitter is already bound to the heli. Please note that you will need to provide 4 AA batteries to power the transmitter. Also, if you desire, you can attach the optional fueling pod. Included in the kit is an LED light which plugs into your battery. Other items include spare blades and a tail rotor. You also receive spare rubber tires because the tires on the heli do fall off occasionally. And finally, you receive a bag of spare screws, a micro Phillips screwdriver, and an Allen key. Total weight of the heli with battery is 396 grams. All right, so you're back to me. Another thing I want to mention is that on your remote, you do have a high-low speed button. So for every mode you stick this in, you can go high speed or low speed, and yeah, it gives you a little bit more speed as you get better. Also, if you take a look at the website, you can order this helicopter with an FPV camera. It hooks at the bottom right here, right where this little light would be. So you put your FPV camera there and it draws the power out of your battery. You need to own your own FPV goggles so that you can view the image. So if you have analog FPV goggles, it might be something you want to try. Don't expect to fly this really far away with those goggles because the output power of that tiny little camera is only 25 milliwatts, so that's about a football field at best. So my personal opinion is it's a beautiful helicopter. It is probably one of the most gorgeous helicopters you can get in this scale. It looks really good. There's so much detail everywhere you look, and you're kind of worried about damaging it, but it flies so well you probably will never damage it. But the negative, of course, is the price. It's very expensive because of all the technology that is in this and the detailed look and everything. So if you can afford it, you can get this. And I do have a discount code below this video to save you some dollars. So when you check the price, make sure you put in the discount code because then the price will be even lower. So if you want to be an early adopter of this product and take it to your flying field, it's going to cost you a bit. But you're going to love it and have a great time. All right, guys, if you have any questions on the heli that I didn't cover, post your questions below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and I'll catch you in a future video with many more cool reviews. Until then, I say bye.